Conspiracy is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown and community supported. For a list of other fun programming, please check out the albertapodcastnetwork.com, where you can find other shows like The Color Gap.
Yeah, so that's not what I meant to do.
Sure.
But we're started, so whatever. At least there's that. So anyways, for our order of operations for the first episode, we should go the Monster of the Week and then do What Are We Drinking?
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan, Charlie.
Thank you.
What?
Good morning. My name is Greg.
Oh, what an amazing entrance. Oh, so good. Yeah. And the internet doesn't work in Manitoba. So.
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
I'm not even sure Manitoba exists.
So we're ready to go then, Charles?
I am ready. I guess
Okay.
I'm already recording. We've got it all.
Okay, Charles and Greg, here we go. Season 4, Episode 4, Life Lessons. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Howl.
Howl.
Owl who?
How will you know if you don't open the door? Yeah, okay. Oh, right out the gate. Okay, welcome back, everyone, to It's a Conspiracy. This is the podcast where we lay out the beliefs behind selected conspiracy theories, alternative accounts, legends, myths, and more. I'm your host, Reanimated Andrew, and I do not claim to be an expert on anything we're going to discuss today, and will probably be wrong about everything because I have recently made the mistake of seeing what all the fuss was about with Candy Crush. So I don't know if you guys have played, but I'm now hooked. It's an incredibly fun game. Takes up a lot of my time. So are you guys Candy Crush fam? You guys Candy Crush pals?
I had to go to an intervention for it. So
Yeah.
You know, I've missed the Candy Crush thing. I'm sure I've played a couple other of those kind of games before, and I get the appeal. But I am low-key obsessed with a next level game at the moment, and I am joining all the youths of today playing Fortnite lately.
Oh, Fortnite. What?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Kind of going like 2017.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. Whoa, says General Candy Crush over there.
are you spending money on this Fortnite?
That's just a couple of bucks at first, but
Just dabbling?
it's not like a pay-to-play.
Have you got a Fortnite tribe or a gang or whatever
Nah,
it is?
it's just me, a lone wolf, baby.
Oh, nice. It's a one-man wolf pack. But speaking of Fortnite, I guess, and Candy Crush, it's almost Halloween. Those are both Halloween things.
Woo!
As always, if you'd like to see where we dug up whatever spooky surprises we're going to let bubble over in the cauldrons, then please check out the episode description. Charlie boils the eyes of a newt under the crescent moon so that you can gaze into his sweet crystal balls. He's a soothsayer, and you should burn him at the stake. And we're also a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network. Yay team, yay friends, yay squad. You can check us out at itsaconspiracypodcast.com. Our Twitter at isitaconspiracy, that's run by the social media influencer, the Irish Madman. Our Facebook group, our Instagram, It's a Conspiracy Podcast, that's run by Greg. Our email and our Patreon page, patreon.com/itsaconspiracy. Nice. Now, joining the online distance communication time today is Decomposing Charlie and Gravestone Greg. Good to see you guys. How you doing?
Good names, yeah.
It's good to be here.
Good to thank you, Greg, for coming in. It's nice to hear your voice. As
I'm
always.
frightened already. Frightened.
These crooked doorways will interject as they see fit, and I'm very appreciative of their anciently cursed company. Now, Charlie, with a robust boo yeah or a boo nah, can you tell me if you've heard of either of these theories?
Let's go.
Halloween in Lebanon.
Boo, nah?
Boo nah, okay. A monster. Just to be clear, you're approving of this.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Boo.
I'm not saying
you're
boo,
booing the good
no.
people
I'm just
of
saying
Lebanon.
boo, nah?
Good, okay. Number 2, a monster of the week with Decomposing Charlie.
Boo, yeah.
Okay, robust, thank you. A moment of Gravestone Greg with Gravestone Greg.
Boo, eh?
Boo meh. Okay.
See how that works out.
All right, well, that's going to take us to subject numero uno, Halloween in Lebanon. Lebanon, sandwiched between Syria and Israel, home to 6 million people and one of the tiniest countries in the world. It's a fascinating country with an extraordinary history. For example, at points in its history, it has been under French control, and thus French is still a recognized language there today. It's also the home to the most ancient Roman ruins outside of Rome, and they have an amazing 16 bank holidays a year. Hot damn, Canada needs to get going on that. I'm 100% on board with at least one holiday per month. We need to stop working ourselves to death. Let's
So
just
many
get on that
holidays.
pronto. Yeah, 16 holidays a year, man. That's awesome.
Wow.
Now, like any melting pot country, Lebanon has a litany, what a great word, of really unique traditions, and their vision of dressing up for candy, going door to door and getting all spooky is certainly no exception. Granted, it's a bit of a loose connection to Halloween, but it happens roughly at the same time, a few weeks later in early December, and there are a number of shared elements. However, like cheesecake, it's its own thing. Cheesecake is not cake, it's really a giant tart. They should probably call it cheese tarts, even though, anyways, it's not cake. It has a labeling thing.
I think that's a whole different episode, bud.
That's a whole other episode. That's right. The whole thing starts around a celebration called Eid el-Barbara, or Eid el-Barbara, or St. Barbara's Day. I'm just going to call it St. Barbara's Day so I don't offend anyone with my shockingly inept pronunciation. Okay. St. Barbara was a beautiful young woman with a sad, devastating story, but there's a happy ending. Now, Decomposing Charlie, can you fire up the Wayback Machine to the 4th century?
We got to go pretty far back. Hold on.
Yeah, you got the...
There we
the
go.
long
We
one
made
on there
it.
again. Okay, thank you. Barbara, a beautiful young woman from a prominent Roman family living in Heliopolis.
I think her
Was
friends
in-
called her Barb.
Barb's.
Yeah.
She was imprisoned by her father in a tower to hide her from would-be suitors. He insisted that she marry a Roman, believe in the Roman gods, and raise up a family of little Romans to patrol the countryside. Now, while held captive, she made the decision to become a Christian, and she was baptized by a priest who snuck in the tower disguised as a common merchant. Upon learning of this conversion, her father became so angry that he drew his sword and he attempted to murder her. She miraculously evaded him and was able to escape the tower and fled into the village nearby. Her father immediately summoned a garrison of Roman soldiers to help find her, and they went door to door through the village investigating. The people in the village knew two things. One, that she was kind, and two, that her father was evil, so they agreed to help her by hiding her between the homes and keeping her disguised as family members, animals, and even furniture or plants in case the garrison showed up. So this is 4th century Mission Impossible. At some point, it was clear that her father and the soldiers were going to catch her, and she knew that the lives of the family protecting her would be in danger if she was found in their care. So eventually, after a couple weeks of hiding, she snuck into the woods. This is where miracle number 1 happened. A thick wheat grain immediately sprung out of the ground behind her as she was running. This allowed her to run through nearby fields and the woods without anyone being able to follow her. Sadly, perhaps due to an inside betrayal, her father and the soldiers were eventually able to capture her and brought her back to Heliopolis to be publicly executed. Her father declared that everyone in the village must come and see this gruesome display, and many a tear were shed. Oh, I know. Just tears aplenty for the executions. On the evening of her execution, she was bound, tied to a wooden stake, and then placed on a pyre to be burnt alive. The executioner brought a torch to light the fire, and just as he was about to ignite the wood, it blew out. It was relit, and again, it blew out just as he got close to her. The third time, a series of torches were lit, everybody got torches, and the fire actually started this time, but just as the flames were about to reach Barbara, they magically extinguished. Upon seeing this, the villagers began to plead with the father and soldiers, saying, "Clearly this is a sign from God and that you should stop the proceedings." However, the father, resolute in his hatred, he took his sword and he beheaded his own daughter in front of everyone right there. Just whap!
Fine, we can't burn her. Let's just cut her head off.
When her head hit the ground, a bolt of lightning shot from the sky, killing the father, the soldiers, and the villager who had betrayed her. Kaboom!
Wow.
Nowadays, there are a number of festivities to celebrate her life and commemorate her story. Number 1, in early December, kids dress up in masks and costumes to symbolize how she had eluded her father and the Romans. Number 2, the kids go door to door while shaking tambourines and other percussion instruments and sing a song called Heshle Berbra, which I'll put in a clip here. I'm probably saying that wrong, to announce their arrival. Here's the song here. Families participating in this fun celebration will now mark their homes by displaying, so in 2021, they'll mark their homes by displaying a jack-o'-lantern. That's so much fun. When the children arrive, they are given candy corn, Charlie's favorite. Sometimes it's candy corn in a sandwich.
Come on. Get out of here.
Yeah, that is nasty. So they're not actually giving
your revisionist history is no good.
They don't. I promise they don't actually do any candy corn. That's they're trying to reward these children for good things. So yeah, that's a punishment. I'm just gonna share a picture here with you guys. So here is a picture of some school children on St. Barbara's Day. Now, if you look at this here, you got a bunch of cute little kids, and they're just kind of dressed up in what I think we could identify as like basic Halloween stuff.
That's pretty classic.
Yeah. So like if you look all the way over in the corner here, there's a little guy. I think he's dressed up as one of the Mario brothers.
It looks like Mario.
Yeah, which is great. There's
It's
like
a
me, and then my pet dinosaur Yoshi.
Who actually, the pet dinosaur Yoshi is like in the middle in the back row, or in the middle row.
I see them, and I see Hamburglar sitting next to him.
Rabble. That's a great
Hamburglar.
costume. I want to be Hamburglar for Halloween this year.
Hamburglar's been forgotten. I think it's time we bring him back.
Hamburglar has, definitely. And we actually, Greg, while you're here, can you help clarify something for us? We did a McDonald's thing last year. What is Grimace supposed to be? Like, what does Grimace represent? Hamburglars, obviously hamburgers, but do you have any idea what Grimace is? Like, is he saturated?
I know the
fat?
answer to this. I'm holding my tongue.
I thought he was a hash brown, but I don't get the purple part.
Yeah.
Andrew, he's a milkshake man.
He's a milkshake man.
He's a giant evil milkshake. I'm telling you this.
He was originally evil. I know that. And then
He's a giant evil milkshake.
Okay. Master Shake. It's in December, but other than that, I think on the surface level, St. Barbara's Day is very similar to Halloween.
Yeah, pumpkins and everything.
Mm-hmm. And candy corn. Now, number 3, nowadays the typical treat given is chocolate und candy, but traditionally something called berbra, which is a fruitcake made of pomegranate seeds, raisins, and anise. Number 4, the miracle of the wheat growing to conceal her path is celebrated by planting wheat seeds in cotton wool. These strips of cotton are then used to decorate homes, Christmas trees, and nativity scenes at Christmas time. Isn't that nice? Families getting together and decorating their Christmas trees with cotton and wool. Aww. That just sounds so nice. So wholesome. So that's St. Barbara's Day in Lebanon, and that's real neat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. That is going to take us to number 2, a decomposing Charlie Scream Monster of the Week with Decomposing Charlie Scream. And the Monster of the Week.
All right, it's time for a spooky Monster of the Week. Because today, I'm talking about Bloody Mary. Oh, yeah. What
Delicious.
is Bloody Mary? Yes, that's what I was going to say. What is Bloody Mary, you may ask? Bloody Mary is a cocktail containing vodka, tomato juice, Worcestershire sauce, hot sauces, garlic, herbs, horseradish, celery, olives, salt, black pepper, lemon juice, lime juice, and celery salt. That does sound delicious. But wait, you're not asking the right questions. What about the other Bloody Mary, you might ask? That's a better question. Bloody Mary is a legend of a ghost, phantom, or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She's said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted repeatedly. The Bloody Mary apparition may be benign or malevolent, depending on historic variations of the legend. Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in group participation play or by a man who's about to die. Ha ha! Well, way back in the olden golden days, Bloody Mary was a divination ritual that encouraged young women to walk up a flight of stairs backwards, holding a candle and a hand mirror in a darkened house. Doesn't sound very safe to me.
No.
As they gazed into the mirror, though, they were supposed to be able to catch a view of their future husband's face. There was, however, a chance that they would see a skull or the face of the Grim Reaper instead, which would mean that they're gonna die before they would have a chance to marry. Or maybe that they would marry death, which is pretty metal, if you ask me. Now, how much of a bummer would that be? Am I right?
Dying
Sounds
young,
like my weekend, man.
going upstairs backwards, looking at skulls.
Absolutely. And then seeing my future husband.
That's badass. All right.
Yeah. By the way, my name's Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, for gravestone, Greg.
Nowadays, the much more updated and refreshed ritual has Bloody Mary allegedly appearing to individuals or groups who ritualistically invoke her name in an act of captromancy, aka divination fun with mirrors. This is done by repeatedly chanting her name into a mirror placed in a dimly lit or candlelit room, usually a bathroom because of all the candles and mirrors usually kept in there. The name must be uttered 13 times, or some other specified number of times, depending on who you ask. The Bloody Mary apparition allegedly appears as a corpse, witch, or ghost that can be friendly or evil. There's a lot of wiggle room here with Mary. And is sometimes seen covered in blood, hence the name. The lore surrounding the ritual states that participants may endure the apparition screaming at them, cursing at them, strangling them, stealing their soul, drinking their blood, or scratching their eyes out. Some variations of the ritual call Bloody Mary by a different name. Maryworth and Hail Mary are some popular examples, as in, Hail Mary, why you gotta scratch my eyes out like that? I just wanted to talk with you. The modern legend of Hanako-san in Japan strongly parallels the Bloody Mary mythology. Andy, you know anything about that?
Yes, that is based actually what The Ring is based on.
Hey, see, I knew you'd come through. We did not prepare that. So, next question you might ask is, why is Bloody Mary? Well, this phenomenon might be a thing because staring into a mirror in a dimly lit room for a prolonged period can cause one to hallucinate. Your facial features may appear to melt, distort, disappear, and rotate, while other hallucinatory elements such as animal or strange faces may appear. Especially once the mushrooms kick in, right? Candy bar. Giovanni Caputo of the University of Urbino writes that this phenomenon, which he calls the strange face illusion, is believed to be a consequence of a dissociative identity effect, which causes the brain's facial recognition system to misfire in a currently unidentified way. Other possible explanations for the phenomenon include illusions attributed, at least partially, to the perceptual effects of Troxler's fading, which is a fancy pants name for an optical illusion affecting visual perception. When one fixates on a particular point for even a short period of time, an unchanging stimulus away from the fixation point will fade away and disappear. And possibly self-hypnosis. So, that makes one ask, was Bloody Mary a real person? Sort of, kinda. Mary the First, aka Mary Tudor, aka Bloody Mary, as so called by her Protestant opponents, was Queen of England and Ireland from July 1553 until her death in 1558. And boy, what crazy years those were. She's best known for her vigorous attempt to reverse the English Reformation, which had began during the reign of her father, Henry VIII. Her attempt to restore the church to the property confiscated in the previous two reigns was largely thwarted by Parliament, but during her 5-year reign, Mary had over 280 religious dissenters burned at the stake in the Marian persecutions. Whew. Mary's most lasting contribution to history would be her unfortunate, if somewhat justified, nickname. According to some sources, the vodka tomato juice concoction, often touted as a hangover cure, derives its name from her, although it's much disputed. Or the even murkier origin is the childhood ghost story about repeating Bloody Mary into a mirror. There's nothing to suggest that Mary Tudor's deeds or misfortunes would have inspired an eternal malice toward her sleepover participants. What do you think? Have you guys ever tried this? Have you ever gone into a bathroom, lit yourself a candle, and done the whole Bloody Mary thing?
Oh, For sure. When I was a kid, absolutely. Yep.
Did you see stairs?
Nope. I was terrified at the time. I remember somebody grabbing me at the end of it, and I shrieked. So, yeah.
Did you run out screaming?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
How about you now, Greg?
I can't say I have, but I would say Candyman sometimes.
You've done the Candyman one?
You've done the Candyman
Is
thing.
it basically the same thing?
I think he's got like bees with hooks.
Yeah.
And he shoots bees at you.
He shoots bees out of his bee
mouth?
hooks. No, out of his bee hooks.
Oh.
Pew, 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 pew.
That is one of the best bee movies I've ever seen personally.
Candyman. Aside from The Wicker Man, of course.
Oh,
No, not the bees!
But that's a story for another time.
that's for another time. That's right.
This is the story of Bloody Mary. Back to you, Andy.
Well, thank you very much. So, decomposing Charlie, I guess you want to share what are we having to drink here? What
are we drinking?
What are we drinking? Yeah, did you want to
Oh, okay, I'll start. Hey, how about I start?
Smooth as silk.
What am I drinking? Well, I'm drinking, you guessed it, a Bloody Mary. What is a Bloody Mary, you may ask? A Bloody Mary is a cocktail containing vodka, tomato juice, Worcestershire sauce, hot sauces, garlic, herbs, horseradish, celery, olives, salt, black pepper, lemon juice, lime juice, and celery salt. That sounds delicious.
Charlie, that's twice. It's pronounced Worcestershire sauce. Say it right or fuck off.
How about you, Andy? What are you drinking?
Am I having like a moment here? You read that recipe.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share this. I had to buy this. You could buy these by the can, just one, at the liquor store here in Beaumont, and I thought it was a cool thing to try. So it's the pumpkin pie spiced ale from Alley Cat Brewing, and it's good. It's different. It's very pumpkin-y, and I was like, okay, let's give this a try. And it tastes like pumpkin pie and kind of like a dark beer. So it's after the Labor Day weekend. We can have dark ales again. It's going to be fine. And I just... Yeah, this was a beer. I don't think I would have like a whole bunch of these.
Right.
But it really was a really cool, sugary, sweet kind of autumn beer.
Are you saying ale not have another one?
Ale have another one, but this would be like, that was good. I'm going to have something else. Like it's one of those beers where you have one of them. It's awesome. Not like, I think we've referred to like, like if I'm barbecuing, I might have like a few kokanees, and that's not even a beer I like, but you can drink more than one. And it's just kind of part of the whole process. But a beer like this, you have one and it's like, that was good, let's move on to something else.
Right.
So excellent, but like one. There's Greg. Whoa.
Hey.
Spooky.
Oh, this
Two
is
Gregs.
spooky. We have two Gregs.
Oh man, what's going
We're gonna
on?
have to fight to
You're
the
missing
death.
half your head, Greg.
I know it's
That is spooky.
it's how I do things in Halloween times.
But yeah, so Greg, number one, do you want to tell us about what are we drinking?
Well, I usually don't drink this early in the day, but when I do, I drink Crown Royal maple whiskey straight out of the thermos.
Ooh. In a thermos, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable, right? You want to make sure you get a good amount. So pretty much 2-4 will fill this thermos here.
Wow.
I figured, hey, what the heck? We're celebrating. It's the holidays.
That's
It's
right.
the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It's the week before Thanksgiving. So
Now, have you tried one of Andy's favorite concoctions, where you take your 2-4, you pour out a shot for your homies, and then you refill that shot with pieces of candy corn and leave it for 5 hours to make some candy corn whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a miserable idea.
I don't know why he does it.
You know,
that's a corntini. That's what that's called. Extra corny.
I prefer those molasses candies.
Funny you should mention molasses. We've got a molasses one coming up, which is a Jim Zanger of a story, if I may say so myself.
Jim Zanger.
It's hard to describe how the insanity, and that'll be in a later on episode though. Greg 2. Sorry, Gravestone Greg 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm. What are we drinking?
I don't know. I kind of just got my day going here. But I was drinking the other day the Easy Squeezy from Cabin Brewing Company, located in Calgary, Alberta. Super delicious. There's not really a write-up on it, but if you like oranges and marmalade, this is the brew for you.
Oh,
So is it like a Radler?
No, this is a legit ale. They call it a hazy IPA, but it's not super hoppy. So
Cool.
and it's got a whopping 7.5% alcohol. Okay.
Oh, wow.
that actually is a perfect beer for us because I'm just looking this up here really quick, which I know again is kind of against the whole ethos of the show, but
Research.
Yeah.
So Greg had mentioned marmalade, and marmalade actually gets its name from Mary, Queen of Scots, who is the titular Bloody Mary. Apparently, she came up with the recipe herself as a cure for seasickness. So it's an example, if you're a Scottish geek, of French words kind of sneaking into the Scottish language. So it's Marie Malade, which means Mary's like sick something.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha.
know. Yeah.
Crazy.
What can't she do?
I know, right? And she was Scottish and just a bloodthirsty tyrant.
Hooray.
Delicious.
And she's dead. Yes. Sorry, apologies to Mary, Queen of Scots, but yeah. Okay, so that's going to take us to ad number 1.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Bonkink,
I'm Andrew Paul.
and we're the hosts of the Well Endowed podcast.
The Well Endowed podcast is produced by Edmonton Community Foundation, or ECF as we call it.
ECF provides grants to charities through the endowment funds we create and manage with our donors.
Hence the title of our show, The Well Endowed Podcast.
Every month, we bring you a collection of stories and interviews with fascinating guests who are working to make Edmonton a strong, vibrant city to live in.
Through these stories, we look at the space where endowments intersect with your communities.
So if you're interested in the people and issues impacting your community, check out thewellendowedpodcast.com.
Alrighty then, Greg, you are here with subject number 3, Moments of Gravestone Greg, with Gravestone Greg 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Moments of Greg.
Boom. So you guys probably have heard this story many, many times if I've talked about it on Bad Movie Night, or we've just talked about bad experiences in our lives.
The sharing circle.
The sharing circle. When I was just a wee lad of the age of 4 or 5, my parents had what you would call a timeshare. I don't know if a lot of people remember what those are, but they had obviously, they paid some money. They got to spend some time at some cabin in the woods for a certain amount of time during the year. Lots of fun. We went for Halloween one year, and I dressed up as a pirate. And being one of the only kids in the area and being surrounded by I don't know how many old people who had nothing to do but spend money and give candy to kids, made bank. I had 2 pillowcases full of candy, and not just the small ones. They were giving out the king size. Oh yeah, man, they're giving out full bags of Twizzlers. It was banging. And I remember this because I had so much candy. I was like, I'm a millionaire. Let's invest in some candy stock right now. Yeah, and so unlike a lot of kids who probably eat half their candy within the first couple of weeks, I did not. I decided to wait because I wanted to be that kid at school who had all the candy. Came home one day from school, go down to the freezer where you would go find, a nice frozen, scrumptious, delicious piece of a chocolate bar that you would kept for yourself. There was nothing.
The candy market has crashed.
So you go upstairs and you ask mom where she put the candy, and you see her get all red, and she realized that she ate 2 giant pillowcases full of candy in about a month and a half. Wow. and then had to explain to her 5-year-old son that she ate all of his candy.
Now, did she replace said candy?
Oh, yeah, not with the exact amount.
Yeah.
This isn't like the day after Halloween where you can go buy all that stuff for half price. This was we have to buy a full bag of candy. Sorry, Greg. That's not how this works. No.
Yeah.
In her defense, I was a late baby. She was a little bit older when she had me. So when I was about that age, she was hitting menopause, and apparently that hits hard. So all the power to her. I hope she enjoyed the chocolate. I'm still gonna hold it against her, but I love her. So go, mom. Happy Halloween.
It's been 12 years and you're still holding on to that anger.
It's been longer than that, man. I wish it was 12 years.
Every time you watch for it.
And now Jimmy Kimmel does it every year.
Oh,
That's right.
That is so
People
heartbreaking.
eat the candy on their children. It started something, man.
Well, on that cheery note, we're going to go to advertisement number 2.
Hi there, I'm Brendan, a certified home inspector with Roomy. Do you have a problem that needs fixing? Whether it's big or small, inside or outside, let me help you find out what's really going on. You can call me by phone, or we can take a look together over video chat. Visit roomy.ca, that's RUMI.ca, and go to Ask a Home Inspector to book your appointment with me today.
Opinion time! Opinion time! Hey everybody, it's opinion time!
Blam.
There it is.
Okay, so we are in the opinions time. Now, what I thought we could do, we could just go around the sharing circle here if we're all ready to have a sharing circle. And we can just say what we like to do to celebrate Halloween with our friends, our families, our loved ones, our community, whatever we do. What do you guys like to do? So, decomposing Charlie, do you have a randomizer that could pick between the 4 of us?
Oh, you know I do.
Oh, here we go. Do you have a Halloween themed randomizer?
Oh, no, I do not, because you did not warn me of such things. It's me. Starts off with me. All right, well, I'll tell you what I like to do, especially the last couple of years. It's a bit of a tradition that my wife and I have been working on. We have been binging classic horror movie series, movies. So last year we did the Nightmare on Elm Street series, which is, spoilers, it goes from way up here in the first one to way down here, and then way at the end it goes back up to the top. But every damn single one is worth the watch, so that's the fun. And the worse the better, and we all know that because we're part of the bad movie group. So we've done that one. We've done Scream. We might be doing, we're not sure if we're doing like Friday the 13th or the Halloween series this year. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to crush some horror movies.
Nice.
Oh, you want me to do this thing again?
Now, who's number 2?
Who's number 2?
Fire up the randomizer. It sounds like the Wayback Machine.
Work for?
It's the same basic computing system. Greg number 1.
Oh, nice. Oh, Greg won.
I created a towel from South Park costume. So I'm basically walk around as a giant blue towel and I can't see shit. Or sorry, I'm not allowed to swear here.
You can swear.
You can swear. Okay. That's fine.
I can't see out of my costume, but it doesn't matter because. So I go out to Morinville where my niece and nephew live, and I like to trick or treat with them. And then they introduce me as, this is my auntie. She's dressed up too. And they're like, why is your auntie a giant blue crayon? So I'm really glad that the kids don't know who Towley is.
That's right. I guess it's probably safe to say at this point that Greg number 1 is actually Naomi from such podcasts as Learning to Listen and Dope Nostalgia.
Yeah.
If anyone left hadn't figured it out yet, that's not actually Greg.
Yeah. If you're thinking to yourself, that's not how Greg sounds.
Yeah. That's not even how Greg's doppelganger sounds.
But we need a scary name for Naomi. We need like Slayomi, something like that.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay. All right. Bloody Naomi.
All right. Back to the machine. It's much like Windows 95, where it's just like you just keep doing upgrades, but not the big upgrade that. Anyways, Greg number 2, or the OG Greg.
Jeez, okay.
I don't know. I've always really enjoyed making a jack-o'-lantern for whatever reason. There's just something about sitting around carving up a pumpkin. I like to use a knife, so it's just natural for me. and I like to pull guts out of things, so it's perfect. Other than that, as of late, since I turned 18 and nobody would really give me candy when I went Halloweening anymore, I've been the one to give out candy, so that's been something I enjoy as well.
Yeah, candy's
one for you, one for me system.
Yeah.
Are you guys all doing candy this year? Are you guys all passing out?
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We to be safe in the pandemic, we create a candy chute so that we fire the candy down a piece of PVC pipe or something into the kids' bags.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Nice. Fun for everyone. And
that is fun for everyone.
No handing out full cans of pop or anything this year because those could be bullets.
To the candy chute.
We're going for fun. We're not going for hurting people here.
Yeah, just another OH&S nightmare there.
All right. Well, I mean, as it dictates, we got to go back to the.
I wonder who it'll be.
Randomizer.
I mean, it keeps telling me, do you want to upgrade this system? And I keep saying, like, no, maybe next time, right? Ask me tomorrow. Andy.
Oh, well, what? Okay. I personally love to watch scary movies. But my life partner, whom I love with all my heart, is one of these baffling people who doesn't like to be scared. So I don't know if you guys have anyone like this in your lives. It's a noodle scratcher. So anyways, I'm working my way up slowly and laying the groundwork with my kids. So last year we watched A Nightmare Before Christmas, which is 100% a Halloween movie. And if you guys can believe it, was actually pushing the scary envelope. So my wife was like, well, it's a little creepy. So I was like, it is creepy, but is it actually getting you? And she's like, oh, I got a little nervous in some parts. So that's where we're at right now, which is fine. But this year, I'm hoping to watch the movie Monster House from 2006. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a great movie. And hopefully I can get my kids to be like well-adjusted schlock cheeseball horror fans,
Is that the animated one?
The animated one.
Oh yeah, that's a super good movie.
So good. So we'll go out and we'll get dressed up, and we'll go get some candy, and then we'll come home and watch a scary movie. And I definitely take a big dad tax out of candy.
Of course.
So we have a mom and dad tax in our house. So yeah, which is good. Yeah. And that's real fun.
Boom.
Yeah. Alrighty then, villagers, let's act like the Romans and seek out the friends, but let's not act like the Romans and be nice to them instead of cutting their heads off and everybody dying from electricity. Greg, too, that might not make a whole lot of sense. That's okay. So everybody is stressed out about this whole thing going on this year, and let's just do our best to enjoy the upcoming Halloween in whatever way we can all see fit. It'll be different again, but it won't always be different, so hopefully this will be the last really different year. We will be back with episode 5 very soon. But if you're needing a pumpkin slap right in the candies, then you just go and creep out on all of our past casts and social media stuff at itsaconspiracypodcast.com. Thanks for stopping by and have a spooktacular Halloween.
Bye.
See you never.
See ya.
Something like a conspiracy. Break it down.